Hello, welcome to Dawn Vibes Yoga. Today we're going to be talking about the practice of smudging. You may have heard about smudging on social media because it is super popular right now to practice self-care and spirituality. So I want to kind of go over what smudging is as well as answer some questions and talk about why it's a little bit controversial, especially right now. So smudging is actually a European word and it means to cleanse with smoke. Now, almost all traditional societies have used smudging, and they may not call it smudging. It can be called different things. It can be called cleansing. The Celts still have a tradition of seining, and that is where you burn herbs as well as sprinkle some water. And smudging has been used by Egyptians, it's been used by Native Americans. It's even been assumed that the very first humans practiced smudging in caves. So essentially what you're doing is you are cleansing and purifying. So there are different herbs, different resins, different tree bark even that people will burn in order to create smoke. And it's been used to bless a person or a place. It's also been used for medicinal purposes. I know some Native Americans use it even for like curing menstrual problems. And it's used to get rid of negative energy in the air. So there are various reasons that it's used. Some people use it for worship. Even Catholics, they like to burn frankincense and myrrh. And typically, Native Americans here like to use white sage. That has been a hot topic of debate because a lot of people on social media have been saying that that's cultural appropriation because they actually think that smudging itself is cultural appropriation, and some people think that just using white sage is cultural appropriation. So Europeans use sage as well, so it's not wrong to use sage. It's just sage is native to Europe, and then there's white sage that is native to where we live. And the reason that people don't want you to use white sage right now is because it's actually being over harvested. And that becomes a problem because this is something that's really important to Native Americans, and white sage is used for specific purposes, and it's getting to the point where it's not quite endangered, but it needs to be protected because it is on the verge of being gone forever. And then the traditions associated with that are going to be really difficult because you need white sage. So one thing that we can do to combat that is to grow our own sage or to use other herbs. So it might be really fun to explore your own ancestors, figure out what they used for smudging, and then try to kind of make that connection and use those herbs as well in your own practice. White sage is being over harvested because of this huge need right now for wanting to smudge and wanting spirituality and doing these spiritual practices. So if we want to protect this species, we have to realize that people are profiting big time from over harvesting and taking all of this sage, and most of the time it's illegally, and then selling it for profit. There's no problem with harvesting sage, but what's going on is people don't know how to do it right, and they're completely just getting all of the sage and not leaving anything behind for it to regrow. So it's basically just disappearing. Smudging is really great to do with just pretty much any herb. They all have like specific purposes, so it will be really nice to research if you have a specific personal reason to smudge, which herbs would best suit your desires for your practice. I think that we can all be spiritual. We can all we can all practice smudging if we choose to, but we don't have to do it in a way that's harmful for the environment and harmful for people. So if you have any other questions about smudging, I'll be more than willing to answer them in the comment section. And if you want to watch any more videos that are yoga related, then subscribe to my channel. Thank you so much for watching Dawn Vibes Yoga. May you always be happy and free.